My sister, a profoundly narcissistic individual, relentlessly manipulated our parents into endorsing her belief that she was more deserving of my penthouse, a property I acquired through immense personal sacrifice, than I was. This escalating and entitled campaign ultimately led to her apprehension by law enforcement in the very early hours of the morning, precisely 2 a.m., while she was actively engaged in attempting to unlawfully force entry into my private residence. My manipulative sister persuaded our parents that my penthouse was more rightfully hers than mine. She was just apprehended attempting to force entry at 2 in the morning. Greetings, everyone. Today's narrative is truly astonishing, but a quick note: if you appreciate this kind of content, please consider subscribing. The channel has been a little quiet recently, and your engagement is vital for its continuation. Let us begin. The original submission. I never imagined I would find myself recounting such events, yet I need to express this before I completely lose my composure. I am James, a 32-year-old male, and I have a younger sister, Jennifer, 28, who invariably held the favored position within our family. Our parents, Robert, 62, and Patricia, 60, dedicated decades to extolling Jennifer's accomplishments to anyone who would listen, while my own achievements were consistently relegated to minor details. Allow me to provide some context. My profession is software development, and I founded my own company 6 years ago. It was far from simple. For 2 years, my diet consisted mainly of instant noodles. I often worked 18-hour days, and twice I teetered on the brink of financial ruin. Still, I persevered, and last year, our company was acquired by a major technology corporation. The proceeds from this acquisition enabled me to purchase my dream residence, a penthouse in the city center, boasting expansive, floor-to-ceiling windows that offered a magnificent panorama of the urban landscape. Jennifer, on the other hand, holds a marketing manager position at a beauty products firm. She is competent at her work, I concede that. However, she conducts herself as though she leads global enterprises. Every family meal transforms into a lecture about her latest groundbreaking social media initiative or how she revolutionized the brand's online presence. Our parents absorb every word, nodding enthusiastically as if her pronouncements were profound cures. The issues began 3 months ago when Jennifer first visited my penthouse. I had been living there for approximately 8 months, having just completed the interior decoration to my liking. As she entered, I observed a shift in her expression, that calculating gaze she adopts when she desires something. "This is adequate," she remarked, her perfectly manicured fingers trailing across my leather sofa. "Though honestly, James, this space is wasted on you. You never entertain. When was the last time you hosted guests?" I dismissed it with a laugh, assuming she was merely indulging in her characteristic condescension. Yet, she proceeded to meticulously highlight every flaw in my aesthetic choices. My art was uninspired. The furniture arrangement obstructed positive energy flow. And, she insisted, my color scheme was simply beyond discussion. "Someone who genuinely appreciates luxury ought to reside here," she declared, positioned by my window. "Someone who understands how to exhibit a space of this caliber. You're treating it like a university dorm." That encounter should have been my initial red flag. 2 weeks later, at our parents' home for Sunday supper, Jennifer reignited the topic. "I've been contemplating James's penthouse," she announced during dessert. "It truly represents an excessive amount of space for a single individual who works remotely all day." My mother instantly brightened. "Oh, Jennifer, are you considering an upgrade from your current apartment?" Jennifer offered that practiced smile she employs in corporate settings. "Well, I've been promoted to senior marketing director. Did I mention that? And with my increased compensation and social commitments, I require a dwelling that reflects my standing. James's residence would be ideal." I nearly choked on my beverage. "My place is not available for purchase or lease, Jen." She waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, James, don't be absurd. I'm not suggesting I buy it from you. I'm discussing a family arrangement. You could relocate to something more suitable for your current lifestyle, and I could assume occupancy of the penthouse. It simply makes more practical sense." My father nodded thoughtfully. "She has a valid point, son. Jennifer frequently hosts professional events. You, on the other hand, spend all day at your computer." "I operate a technology company," I countered, striving to maintain an even tone. "I exerted immense effort to acquire that property." "Language," my mother chastised. "And truly, James, there's no need to be so self-centered. Jennifer is correct. She would utilize the space more effectively. You could find a pleasant one-bedroom apartment somewhere quieter." I surveyed the table, expecting someone to offer a chuckle, indicating this was a jest. But their expressions were serious, absolutely earnest. "That penthouse belongs to me," I stated firmly. "I acquired it with funds earned from establishing my company from the ground up. The discussion is closed." Jennifer's eyes narrowed. "Good heavens, James. Why must you always transform everything into a contest? This isn't about who earned what. It's about what benefits the family most. You're behaving with extreme immaturity. I rose from my seat. You are literally attempting to persuade me to surrender my home because you believe you deserve it more. Because I do, she snapped, her composed demeanor momentarily fracturing. I am the one with an active social life. I am the one whose professional trajectory is genuinely advancing. I am the one who understands how to present myself appropriately. You had a stroke of luck with some tech acquisition, but that doesn't imply you comprehend how to live well. My mother reached for Jennifer's hand. Darling, don't distress yourself. Your brother has always harbored envy for your accomplishments. Envy. I was utterly incredulous. She's trying to take my home. Nobody is taking anything. My father interjected with that dismissive tone he had always reserved for me. Jennifer is merely being pragmatic. You should consider her proposition instead of throwing a childish fit. I departed without consuming dessert. Subsequently, Jennifer began sending me listings for modest one-bedroom apartments, ostensibly to present me with alternatives. She also commenced uploading images to Instagram from various chic rooftop venues and gatherings, accompanied by captions like, manifesting my dream penthouse, and soon to be embracing my best life high above the city. My parents telephoned 3 times to inform me that I was being obstinate and selfish, and that I should prioritize what was advantageous for the family. Apparently, what was advantageous for the family involved me relinquishing the home I toiled for, simply because my sister deemed herself more deserving. The most distressing aspect was Jennifer starting to inform acquaintances that she was in the process of acquiring a downtown penthouse. A mutual friend contacted me to inquire if I was selling, and when I denied it, they appeared bewildered. Yet, Jennifer had claimed she was already coordinating the renovation. I am at a loss for what course of action to take. This is preposterous, correct? I am not irrational for declining to surrender my residence. How do I convey to them that this will not occur? Update 1. 2 weeks later. I had not anticipated such widespread attention for my initial post. My gratitude extends to everyone who confirmed my sanity. Regrettably, circumstances have intensified in ways I could not have foreseen. Last Tuesday, while engaged in remote work, I detected voices in my corridor. This is not uncommon in an apartment building, except these voices were approaching, and one of them was distinctly familiar. Then, I distinctly heard the unmistakable sound of keys attempting to unlock my door. I opened the door to discover Jennifer standing there with 2 unfamiliar women, holding tablets and color swatches. My sister was systematically trying various keys from her keychain. Evidently, she had been experimenting with random keys, hoping one might grant access. Jennifer, what on earth are you doing? She smiled brightly, entirely unfazed by being discovered. Oh, James, perfect timing. These are Amanda and Michelle from Lux Interiors. I'm having a consultation for the redesign. The 2 designers appeared visibly uncomfortable, clearly sensing the underlying tension. I stared at my sister in disbelief. Renovation of what? The penthouse, obviously. She pushed past me, signaling for the designers to follow. Ladies, I apologize for my brother. He's still adjusting to the transition. There is no transition. I blocked the entryway. This is my home. Jennifer, you must depart immediately. Jennifer's smile hardened. James, cease creating a scene. I informed Amanda and Michelle about our arrangement, how you are scaling down, and I am taking over the premises. Do not humiliate yourself. Amanda cleared her throat. Perhaps we should reschedule, Jennifer. It seems there might be some misunderstanding. There is no misunderstanding, Jennifer asserted firmly. My brother is simply being uncooperative. James, allow us inside. I need to take measurements. No. I addressed the designers. I apologize for the waste of your time, but my sister holds no claim to this apartment. This is my property, and she is not welcome here. Michelle exchanged glances with Amanda. We should leave. Jennifer, please contact us once you have resolved matters. They departed swiftly, clearly eager to escape the awkwardness. Jennifer remained, her arms folded. You just mortified me in front of the most esteemed design team in the city, she hissed. You humiliated yourself by misleading them. I began to close my door, but she obstructed it with her foot. This is not over, James. That penthouse belongs to me, and you know it. You're squandering it. Sitting there alone, like some recluse. I possess the connections, the lifestyle, the presence to elevate that space to its true potential. Exit my building before I summon security. She left, but not before declaring I would regret prioritizing pride over family. That evening, I received a call from my mother. She was on the verge of tears, recounting how I had devastated Jennifer by publicly shaming her. According to Jennifer's narrative to our parents, I had invited her over to discuss the transition, then ambushed her in front of the designers to make her appear foolish. She was trying to unlawfully enter my apartment. I protested. Don't be overly dramatic, James. She was probably just confused about the timing. You know how demanding her schedule is with her promotion. She's managing so much, and you're exacerbating everything. The manipulation was astounding. I attempted to clarify the actual events, but my mother repeatedly interrupted with, "Jennifer would not fabricate stories, and you have always resented her achievements." The following day, my father telephoned with a proposition. Jennifer would overlook my behavior if I consented to let her co-host functions at my penthouse, providing her with a key for convenient access for her professional obligations. "Absolutely not," I stated. "Be reasonable, son. She's not requesting much, merely the ability to utilize the space periodically for networking purposes. It would actually benefit you. Jennifer has influential acquaintances." "Dad, she attempted to bring interior designers to redesign my apartment without my authorization. She is delusional." "That's a harsh term to apply to your sister. She's ambitious, not delusional. Perhaps if you exhibited a little more ambition yourself, you would comprehend." I disconnected the call, but Jennifer was not finished. That weekend, she appeared again, this time accompanied by our parents and her boyfriend, Michael, a financial professional who overtly exudes affluence. They were carrying shopping bags from an upscale home goods store. "We are here for the housewarming," Jennifer announced loudly in the corridor, ensuring my neighbors would overhear. "What housewarming?" I inquired through the door, refusing to open it. "Don't be impolite, James," my mother called out. "We brought gifts for Jennifer's new residence. Let us in." "This is not Jennifer's residence. This will never be Jennifer's residence. Please depart." Michael chuckled.
"Come on, man."
"Jen informed me you agreed to the arrangement. Don't make this awkward." "There is no arrangement." I was practically shouting by this point. "Jennifer is deceiving everyone." My neighbor, Mrs. Chun, cautiously emerged. "Is everything all right?" Jennifer immediately switched on her charm. "I am so sorry for the disturbance. I'm Jennifer, James's sister. We're just experiencing a minor family misunderstanding regarding the relocation. You understand how stressful moving can be." Mrs. Chun appeared perplexed but nodded courteously before retreating into her apartment. Jennifer had successfully instilled the idea that she was moving in. "Leave now, or I will contact the authorities," I declared through the door. My father's voice became stern. "James, if you involve the police with your family, you will no longer be considered a part of this family." They departed, but the damage was irreversible. Jennifer had introduced herself to my neighbor as someone in the process of moving. She had told her boyfriend an arrangement existed. She was constructing a narrative where I was the irrational obstruction to an already established plan. Update 2. 3 weeks later. The situation has spiraled so completely out of my control that I felt compelled to initiate legal proceedings. Yes, against my own family. Following the housewarming incident, Jennifer intensified her campaign. She began posting on social media about her impending relocation to a penthouse and how sometimes familial circumstances complicate transitions, but perseverance yields results. She carefully avoided outright falsehoods, yet the implication was unmistakable. She was moving into my dwelling, and I was the hindrance. Then came the wellness check. 2 weeks ago, I was in a virtual meeting with clients when there was a knock at my door. I disregarded it, assuming it was another of Jennifer's antics. The knocking grew more forceful, more insistent. Then I heard, "Mr. James, this is the police. We need to confirm your well-being." I muted my meeting and opened the door to discover 2 officers and a social worker. They clarified they had received a report concerning my welfare, alleging I exhibited signs of mental distress, isolation, and potentially harmful conduct. Who initiated this call? I inquired, though I already surmised the answer. The social worker consulted her notes. "Your sister, Jennifer. She states you have become increasingly paranoid, making baseless accusations about family members, isolating yourself, and displaying indicators of delusional thinking." My blood ran cold. She is lying. She is attempting to claim my apartment and is furious that I refuse to give it to her. The officers exchanged glances. I could see how that sounded. The more I endeavored to explain, the more unhinged I appeared. A sister attempting to appropriate her brother's apartment. Parents endorsing such an absurd scheme. It sounded precisely like a paranoid delusion. They remained for 30 minutes evaluating me, surveying my apartment, asking questions about my mental health history, my profession, my social connections. Ultimately, they concluded I posed no threat to myself or others. However, the social worker strongly recommended I seek assistance for family conflict resolution. After they left, I trembled with fury. Jennifer had tried to have me declared mentally incompetent. I contacted my lawyer friend, David, who corroborated my gravest concerns. If she can establish a pattern of mental health issues, she could potentially argue for conservatorship or power of attorney, particularly with your parents' backing. He advised, "You need to document every incident and contemplate a restraining order." It was then I uncovered the full scope of Jennifer's machinations. She had been circulating information among our extended family and social circle that I was experiencing a breakdown, that the proceeds from selling my company had inflated my ego, and I was paranoid and delusional, convinced everyone was plotting to seize my possessions. My cousin Sarah contacted me after hearing from Jennifer. She claims you accused her of attempting to steal your apartment. James, that sounds... Are you alright, Sarah? She literally brought interior designers to my home, without my permission. She's been telling people she's moving in. There was a prolonged silence. That's not what she told me. She said you invited her to view the place because you were considering downsizing, then became paranoid and expelled her. I sent Sarah screenshots of Jennifer's texts about taking over my penthouse, her Instagram posts about envisioning her new home, everything. Sarah was stunned. This is truly insane, James. She is actually trying to claim your residence. At last, someone believed me. Since then, I have installed security cameras in my hallway with building authorization, replaced my locks with smart locks that notify me of any attempted entry, and affixed a video doorbell that records all visitors. I have also had to inform building security that my sister is not authorized to access my apartment under any circumstances. My parents are incensed. They have labeled me paranoid, cruel, and mentally unstable for implementing these safeguards. My mother sent a lengthy message detailing how I was destroying the family and breaking Jennifer's heart with my irrational suspicions. I responded to her claim that Jennifer called the police for a mental evaluation. She was concerned about you. You've been acting erratically, alienating family, making wild accusations. Any devoted sister would be worried. Update 3. 1 month later. I have initiated no contact with my entire immediate family, a decision that has proven both the most arduous and most essential step I have ever undertaken. The breaking point occurred 2 weeks prior. Jennifer had been uncharacteristically quiet for a few days. No texts, no unexpected visits, no social media posts about her penthouse aspirations. I should have recognized she was formulating a new plan. I received a call from my building's management office, requesting my immediate presence downstairs. There was a situation demanding my urgent attention. Upon arrival, I found Jennifer in the office with a man in a suit who introduced himself as her lawyer, along with my parents. Jennifer had presented the building management with a document asserting she held an equitable interest in my penthouse due to a purported family trust arrangement. The document was an absolute fabrication, yet it possessed sufficient official appearance that management was treating it seriously. This is fraud, I stated instantly. That document is counterfeit. There is no family trust. I purchased this penthouse myself, with my own capital. Jennifer's lawyer, because naturally she retained legal counsel, spoke smoothly. My client's position is that a verbal agreement existed concerning the property, witnessed by Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Patricia, stipulating that the penthouse would be transferred to Jennifer as part of a family arrangement. My parents nodded in agreement. My own parents were prepared to perjure themselves to help my sister seize my home. This is absurd, I exclaimed. I possess the deed. My name alone is on all documentation. Verbal contracts concerning property can be legally binding in specific situations, the lawyer continued. We are prepared to pursue this matter in court if required. The building manager appeared uneasy. Mr. James, perhaps you should secure legal representation. Until this is resolved, we will need to maintain current access rights as they stand. Only you possess authorization to enter the unit. Jennifer's face fell. She had clearly anticipated the building would grant her some form of access based on this charade. I looked at my parents. You are truly doing this? You are actually assisting her in her attempt to steal my home. My mother's eyes were cold. We are helping our daughter claim what was promised to her. You have always been self-serving, James, but this behavior is beyond acceptable. What was promised? When did I ever promise her my penthouse? When you acquired it, my father said, you claimed it was a family investment. I never uttered such a thing. I said I was proud to be able to afford it after growing up in our family, meaning, despite never receiving support or belief. Jennifer smirked. That is not how we recall it. I departed and immediately contacted David. He suggested a real estate attorney specializing in family property disputes. Within 48 hours, I had filed a cease and desist order against Jennifer and made it unequivocally clear that any further attempts to claim my property would result in charges for fraud and harassment. Jennifer reacted by launching a full-scale assault on social media. She uploaded a lengthy, tearful video alleging how her mentally unstable brother was attacking the family and exhibiting paranoid delusions. She claimed I had pledged the penthouse to her when I was in a better state of mind and was now reneging on that promise due to my deteriorating mental health. The comments section was divided. Some individuals who knew me reached out with concern. Others, primarily those in Jennifer's circle, expressed sympathy for her and hurled insults at me. Someone even proposed she initiate an online fundraiser for legal expenses to contend for what was rightfully hers. My parents conducted interviews with extended family members, portraying me as unstable and cruel. They disseminated the story that I had changed after accumulating wealth, that I had become paranoid and malicious, deliberately severing ties with the family that supposedly loved and supported me. The ultimate offense occurred when Jennifer tried to reach out to my ex-girlfriend, Emily, to procure a statement regarding my mental instability during our relationship. Emily called me at once. "Your sister is unhinged," she declared. "She offered me money to state you exhibited signs of paranoia and delusion when we were together. When I declined, she attempted to manipulate me, saying I could help you obtain the assistance you needed." That was when I resolved to implement complete no contact. I sent one final message to my parents and Jennifer. Any future attempts to contact me, access my property, or disseminate false information concerning my mental health will be met with legal action. I have meticulously documented everything, every fabrication, every fraudulent endeavor, every unwarranted welfare check. I possess recordings, screenshots, and corroborating witness testimonies. If you persist with this harassment, I will pursue criminal charges and a restraining order. You are no longer my family. Do not contact me again. My mother responded with an extended voicemail, asserting I was unwell and required help, and that they were merely trying to rescue me from myself. She concluded with, "When you regain your senses and comprehend what you've forfeited for a piece of real estate, we may no longer be here." My father sent a text. "You are no son of mine." Jennifer posted one final statement. "Sometimes you must release toxic individuals, even if they are family. I will always cherish my brother and hope he finds the help he requires." Accompanied by emojis of folded hands and a broken heart. Final update, 3 months later. It has been 3 months since I initiated no contact, and I wish to provide one conclusive update for closure, both for those who have followed this narrative and for my own peace of mind. The immediate aftermath of severing ties proved more challenging than I anticipated. Despite fully recognizing their toxicity, there were instances where I questioned myself. Was I overreacting? Was I truly the unreasonable one? The gaslighting had been so pervasive that even with all the evidence, I occasionally doubted my own perception of reality. However, Jennifer then committed one last misstep that unequivocally validated everything. Approximately a month after I ceased contact, she evidently convinced herself that I had vacated the premises. She informed people I had abandoned the penthouse and absconded from the state due to my mental health crisis. She even managed to persuade Michael, her boyfriend, that the apartment was unoccupied and that she held a legal entitlement to it. One evening, my security system alerted me to activity at my door at 2 a.m. I checked the camera to observe Jennifer with Michael and another man I did not recognize. They were attempting a forced entry, actually breaking in with what appeared to be lockpicking instruments. I immediately dialed emergency services and watched through the camera as they worked on my lock. The police arrived within minutes, apprehending them in the act. Jennifer attempted to portray it as a misunderstanding, alleging she believed I had abandoned the property and she was merely inspecting it for safety reasons. The police were unconvinced, especially after I presented them with the cease and desist order and the detailed documentation of her previous attempts. She was arrested for attempted breaking and entering. Michael was utterly chagrined. He genuinely had not been aware of the full story and terminated their relationship on the spot. My parents tried to reach me dozens of times that night, but I did not answer. They left voicemails pleading with me not to pursue charges, claiming Jennifer had made a mistake and was simply disoriented. Then the threats began. If I pressed charges, they would disown me, already accomplished, disinherit me, there was nothing to inherit, and ensure everyone knew what a monster I was. I proceeded with the charges. Jennifer ultimately accepted a plea bargain for a misdemeanor, receiving probation and a restraining order. The arrest and associated legal complications also cost her the promotion she had been boasting about. It turns out corporations are not fond of their senior marketing directors being arrested for attempted burglary. The family disintegration was absolute. Extended relatives chose sides. Most initially sided with my parents, but as more truths emerged, particularly the arrest report and the security footage I shared with select family members, opinions began to shift. My cousin Sarah became my staunchest advocate, disseminating the screenshots I had sent her months earlier. My aunt, my mother's sister, reached out after witnessing everything. "I always wondered why Jennifer was the favored child when you were the one who never sought anything and forged your own path. Now I understand it's simpler to parent the child who tells you what you wish to hear than the one who reveals your true nature." Regarding my parents, they have remained entrenched in their stance. They have told everyone that I orchestrated Jennifer's downfall, that I manipulated the circumstances to make her appear unfavorable. They asserted the arrest was my fault for driving her to desperation by stealing what was promised to her. But here's the crux of the matter. I no longer care. My penthouse is now tranquil. I have redecorated slightly. Not because Jennifer's style critiques were valid, but because I desired to reclaim the space as entirely my own. Every room she disparaged, I have imbued with more of my personality. I acquired art I genuinely adore, furniture that prioritizes comfort over ostentation. And yes, I maintained my uninspired color palette. I have been undergoing therapy to address the years of manipulation and favoritism I endured. My therapist has helped me grasp that Jennifer's entitlement and my parents' enabling behaviors were neither my fault nor my responsibility to rectify. The favored child/scapegoat dynamic was established long before the penthouse ever entered the picture. This situation merely brought it to an undeniable climax. I have cultivated a chosen family of friends who genuinely support and celebrate my accomplishments. My business is flourishing. It appears that eliminating toxic stressors from your life works wonders for both productivity and creative output. I am even in a new relationship with Lisa, who has heard this entire saga and playfully suggests installing a moat around the penthouse. Occasionally, I encounter flying monkeys, distant relatives, or family acquaintances who attempt to manipulate me into reconciliation. Life is too brief, they profess. Family is family. But they were not present when my family attempted to appropriate my home, convinced me I was delusional, and then tried to forcibly enter when those tactics failed. Jennifer still periodically posts about her idealized penthouse, though she has had to move to a smaller apartment after forfeiting her promotion. My parents continue to finance her lifestyle, firmly convinced she is a victim of my cruelty. They are in their 60s, expending their retirement savings to support a 28-year-old who believes the world owes her everything. Do I harbor regrets?
No.
I regret that events unfolded this way, but I do not regret safeguarding myself, my home, and my mental well-being. I toiled diligently for what I possess, not solely the penthouse, but my inner peace. No one, not even family, and especially not family, has the right to strip that away. For anyone navigating similar predicaments, document every detail. Trust your instincts. Do not allow anyone to make you doubt your sanity for protecting what is rightfully yours. And remember, family is not defined by blood. It is defined by those who appear for you without hidden agendas. The penthouse is mine. The peace is mine. The future is mine. And for the first time in my life, I am offering no apologies for any of it. My panorama of the city skyline has never appeared more magnificent.